Hello everybody, it is me, Pacific. You know, I've kind of talked about this before, but this video is going to be titled Craigslist. Oh yeah, CL baby. I have done my fair share of hefty experiences with Craigslist. First time I got on it was when I lived in Spokane, Washington, and I used it to sell a bunch of stuff before I moved to Hong Kong. So I figured, I want to put all that I want to keep in the back of my truck with a topper on it. That's it. Whatever doesn't fit in there, I don't need it. And you know what? I moved stuff pretty quickly. The only problem is a lot of people looking on Craigslist want everything for nothing. So if you want a huge profit for something, Craigslist is not the place. Now, I have nothing against Craigslist. I even tried dating. Now, I was successful. I met a woman in Idaho on Craigslist. We dated briefly, and then she figured she had some problems and flew the coop. But I noticed something on Craigslist and I want to talk about it. This is why. Because, excuse me, I have to yawn. Let's see if I can stifle it. There we go. We suppressed it. Craigslist is interesting because it's a free site. And you get what you pay for. I've looked at everything from casual encounters to women seeking men to strictly platonic. I'm going to tell you my stories. I have met quite a few people on Craigslist. So it does work. If you want to meet somebody, chances that you'll meet somebody on Craigslist are pretty high. Now, the quality of people that you'll meet on there is questionable. Now, I'm not saying all. I've met a couple of nice people on there that were, they were decent human beings. But Craigslist seems to be a draw for the chubby crowd. And I want to focus on the obesity thing. You see ad or post after post of BBW, I'm a little bit chunky, and if you don't like that, move on. I'm a little bit curvy. Okay. When I think of curves, folks, I'm not trying to be rude, but I think of a woman that's kind of like, oh yeah, baby. I'm not doing that quite right. When I think curvy, I think of a sexy woman. I just don't equate curvy with BBW. BBW, for you viewers who don't know, means big, beautiful woman. Gosh, do you guys remember that song? Oh my gosh, Becky, look at the size of her butt. And it was, I like big butts and I cannot lie. Sheesh. Green eggs and ham, anyone? I'm not into big butts. I'm not into big. The only thing big that I'm into big skyscrapers, big giant ocean-going ships, and big volcanoes and glaciers and, stuff like that. Stuff that's bigger than me that makes me go, wow, I'm just but a gnat on an elephant's butt. I am tired of the obese problem in America. And it is amazing. Obesity has gotten so out of hand now that we have obese women with attitudes on Craigslist. I don't see it with the obese males, but I definitely see it with the women. Stuck up, snotty, have high expectations on us males, and they're gross. They're just gross. I will say it, folks. I think that obese women are gross and disgusting and lazy and undisciplined. Don't like it. Don't want anything to do with that. I've worked with too many of them. I don't trust them. They'll stab you in the back. They're all about drama, and they eat like pigs. No thanks. The good-looking women on Craigslist are high maintenance. I want a guy who's 6'4". I want a guy who's financially secure. And then you look at their picture, and you go, really? Now, Craigslist is interesting. These are the following dates I had on Craigslist. I had a date with a woman from Chihuahua, Mexico, who lives in Aurora, Colorado. We met at a restaurant. An hour before we met at the restaurant, she spoke a little English. Okay, I understand that. Muy poquito en español, 2 años en la escuela. I took 2 years of Spanish in school. My knowledge of Spanish is very little, but I know enough to get around. An hour before I go to the restaurant and go to pick her up and go to the restaurant, she texts me and says, my daughter's going to come because she's going to translate. Okay, no problem. And want to make sure you're safe. Okay, no problem. Date 1, that's acceptable. Only problem was, she didn't offer to pay for the daughter. I had to pay for the daughter, who was in her 20s, by the way. The daughter, she was 50. So I had to pay for 3 of us, which I thought that sucked. Then we wanted to go on a second date, and she wanted to bring daughter again. I canceled second date and said, sorry, I'm not doing the family free lunch thing. Bye-bye. Another woman from Chihuahua. Nice, beautiful woman. She's supposed to meet me. She sends her friend from Argentina, who was in the States visiting, to meet me at Starbucks down in the middle of Denver. And she's keeping me entertained for 45 minutes, and she's saying, what about your past? What about this? Are you this? Are you that? And after an hour of this, I'm thinking, where's the girl I'm supposed to meet? By the time the girl got there, I'd already deduced enough that this ain't going to work because this one's putting me through the ringer. And it was an uncomfortable thing, and we were cordial, polite, bought coffee, blah, 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 and out the door, don't call me, I'll call you, and that was the end of that. Then I dated a very good-looking, tall black girl. That was interesting. That was an eye-opener. We went to a restaurant in Aurora, Colorado, TGI Fridays. By the way, got good food. Took her to dinner. She seemed really nice. And as we're at dinner, she tells me, I smoke pot. I'm a Muslim. Okay, no offense to my Muslim viewers, but my Christian faith and Muslim are not compatible. So that was out. The big thing was the pot smoking thing. Sorry. She was beautiful, beautiful ebony skin, beautiful face, nice hair. She was my eye. I thought, wow, this is the first time I've actually dated a black gal. We got along and everything, but I did notice something in that restaurant. All the white families, as they were leaving after their meal, all stared at us, and none of them were giving us the smile, warm reception kind of look, but staring at us like white, black, white, black. And I asked somebody, I said, you know, Denver and Aurora, there's a lot of black people, a lot of whites. Why am I getting the hairy eyeball? And one of my close friends said, unfortunately, even here, a lot of white people just don't go for the white and blacks dating at all. What a stupid mentality. Then, there was one woman I met who was nice. She was not really my type, but I met her. She was up in the mountain communities in Colorado here. She was kind of after me, and I wasn't really interested. We went out a couple times to dinner and chit-chat and stuff. Then, when she found out I was a conservative and had Christian beliefs, she said, you know, if I'd have known you had conservative views, you should have put all that, you should have put all your religious views, political views, all that on your post. And I said, really? The whole purpose of getting on a date site is to get to meet somebody. I'm not going to sit there and write a gigantic congressional report about Pacific. So, that ended that. But I met somebody else on Craigslist, and while she was with me in my truck and we were going somewhere, my phone rings, and this is months later. Hi, Pacific, it's me, so-and-so. Huh? Oh, yeah, that's the one I dated from Conifer, Colorado. You know what shocked me? It hit me. Why is she calling me? I thought maybe she's not finding anybody, and she knows that I was a decent human being. I don't know. I said, hey, thanks for calling, but I'm currently with my girlfriend, and we're going somewhere. She's seated next to me in the truck. And I said that on purpose because I thought, what am I going to do? Yeah, I'll call you back later. Boom! That was the end of that. But I have met a lot of game players on Craigslist, and I've noticed a lot of ads that are posted, I think they're come-on ads. You respond to them, and you get no response, and then you get an inbox full of junk mail. The other thing I noticed is all these women say, I just want an honest, simple guy who doesn't do drugs, doesn't do this. And like a dummy, I respond thinking, wow, here's somebody who's got my values. You write them, you don't even get the courtesy of a, hey, thanks, I received your email. You're not what I'm looking for. Nothing. And I wrote one woman back, I said, thank you for the reply. Nothing. And then I sent another one, thanks for the reply. Nothing. Now, I realize there's a lot of game players that might be putting up bogus posts, but I also fear that there's a lot of American women that just think that, you know, they just treat this like a meat market, and they don't care if they snub us males. They're just all rude and all attitude. You get what you pay for on Craigslist. And I've had a few trolls make comments to me saying, Pacific must have a problem because women don't get attracted to him. Let me say something to you viewers. I don't think I'm Don Juan. I don't think I'm GQ. But I do know this. I've gotten the attention of a few females in my life, and they've all told me I'm just fine. We're not going to get into that because that gets really highly personal, but they liked me and thought I was hot enough to them. The point is, I find a lot of stuck-up, picky people out there that are looking for GQ, and they themselves are hardly anything worth GQ. And then they complain that they get nothing but bad males, and then us nice guys who are slender, don't have body odor, take care of themselves, do everything a woman wants a man to do, they'll just pass us over. Why? Because I don't have college, don't have $50 billion in the bank, and I don't drive a Lexus. Nope, I drive a Ford F-150, and I'm proud of it. I love that truck. That thing's more reliable. Do you know how many high-end cars I've seen broke down on the side of the freeway abandoned? A few. I like real women that take care of themselves, that are attractive, not tens, not Barbies. I have no interest in Barbies. Barbies are not my type of women. Excuse me. It's Colorado dry. It's killing me, man. I'm going to have to go back to Hong Kong soon just to revitalize my skin and get some humidity in me and date some decent women again. Do you know what's sad? This little phone right here. I have ladies that call me from Hong Kong that still care about me to this day. There's one gal over there from Mindanao who would love nothing more than to marry me. 30 years old, has an 8-year-old daughter who looks just like her, just a sweetie. She goes, I want to take you back to my village and have you meet my mother. She has no interest in using me for a green card or anything, but because of my previous involvement with a Filipina that blew up and did not work out, I am not getting involved in immigration issues. But what's really sad, there are many times when I ask myself, if I had $1 million, what would I do? And I already know the answer. I would out of here so fast. And I would take the time to get to know her on a non-Hong Kong setting basis before taking that plunge. But I do know this, that if I moved to the Philippines or Thailand, that I'd find plenty of nice women to choose from that would probably be very good candidates for me. It's sad, and they're beautiful. They don't have makeup and breast implants, and they don't need any. They got beautiful tan skin, and I can't get too personal because I don't want to be classless, but they're just flat beautiful. Come back to this country, and there's so much drama, so much high maintenance, so much materialistic, just unreasonable expectations put on us males. And just this week, I had somebody respond. Actually, somebody had looked. I had actually put something out on Mingle too. It was in my inbox, and I thought, well, heck, I'll just put something out there, and I didn't even massage it. Some woman replied, and when she looked at it, I kind of thought, not really my type, but I'll respond. She had a lot of the values I did, didn't drink, didn't smoke, claimed to be a Christian, and she talked to me. We talked on the phone a couple times, and then she sent me a text message, and she asked me for a photo of myself. I sent her a photo, and then she made some sort of comment about it. I said, so I guess you didn't really dig the photo. Oh, no, I was just teasing you. And then the next text, good night. Sent her a text recently, and I said, hey, have a good day at work. No response. You know what I realized? There are so many women that just play games. So many women that are so picky. And I remember her telling me, you know, I am pretty good looking. That's why most men are so shocked that I'm not married yet. I also had to learn the hard way about a woman from a church setting. Secretary, 45 years old, my age. 46, excuse me. And you know what? She liked me, but then she wanted to follow God so much that she says, well, maybe I'm not ready to date. But she still kind of flirts and sends signals to men. And it's really sad. And I'm like, you know what? Those women that are this old, my age, not married, run. Something's wrong. This was kind of about Craigslist. And I've kind of beat this dead horse over and over. Why are American women like this? Why is there so much drama and baggage and so many issues? And why do they think that they're divas? That they can just look at us like a meat selection in a market, pick up the packs and just throw it back in the bin? I don't know about you women, but we're people. And I know you're obsessed with texting and SUVs and your little materialistic kingdom and your narcissistic self. As I said earlier, viewers, I walked through a mall today and I watched these teenage girls. And I used to look at them when I was there and go, gosh, they're so sexy. And I watched them today as a 46-year-old adult with their little tight jeans on, their little 2-inch TTs, and they think they're just divas. And I watched them sloth through the mall and walk so slow. And I thought, you know what? They may look cute, but if you were to feel right here, it's all flab. They don't work their bodies. They're slugs. They're mall rats carrying their bags of crap, as my uncle would say. And you know what? They're as narcissistic as they come. I notice not too many women look at men and kind of smile and go, wow, he's kind of handsome. And if a guy looks at a woman today, they just flat snub you. But that's white world. I walked through there today and I just thought, I'm there to do walking. I'm not there to shop. I'm not caught up in any of the environment. But I still study people as I walk through. And as somebody else said, he's done with white women. And I'm getting these comments personally in my inbox daily. These aren't jerk, abusive males. These are males that have a heart that white women have just snubbed, spurned, and crapped on. And it's true. And it's not just white females. A lot of black women in this country have that mentality. A lot of Mexican women that grew up in this country have this mentality. And a lot of Asian women that grew up in this country have this mentality that if you've been born and raised in this country, you're infected with this whole yucky, negative, ill effect producing mindset. And I find Craigslist to be a virtual toilet. You look on the casual encounters, it's all about sex, men wanting to masturbate with other men wanting to get it on with other men, and anal and this and that. And as a viewer wrote me and said, I was shocked to see that there are more men seeking men than women seeking men. I said, yep. And the women seeking men, 9 times out of 10, will not answer virtually every response to them. It is sad. And then you see some of them posting over and over again going, I wonder why they're not getting a date. Because typically speaking on a date site, more women will jump on a woman's post than women jumping on a male's post. What is it? Women have become so picky. Wow, look at all the men that responded to me. I'm not going to take any of them. You read a woman's post, and it's all attitude. I've dated a lot of people, and I'm tired of this, and I'm tired of that. Drama. If you do this, if you do that, just move along. You don't see a post saying, I'm a warm, passionate, outgoing person. Then it's all the same. I'm a sports junkie. I'm a 420. For you that don't know what 420 is, I smoke pot, and I want a pot-smoking boyfriend. I want somebody who's non-religious, non-spiritual, non-political. What does that look like? One woman even wrote in a post that said, if you believe in imaginary people, and you're into religion and you have to lean on something because you can't deal with life, and you're into politics, politicians are a-holes, I'm thinking, this is a female putting this on her site. Boy, that's going to attract a lot of guys, huh? I wrote her just for fun, just to poke. I said, that imaginary person that you're talking about, I actually believe that God does exist, and sounds to me like the reason you're not getting decent men, because she said she couldn't find decent men, is she said maybe because you got such an attitude out here. She wrote back within a day and said, you can stuff that God thing right up your a-hole, and on and on. And I wrote her back and I said, you see, you have an attitude. And I said, have fun with your attitude. Get back to me and let me know if you find anybody. And then I just blocked her so she couldn't send anymore. When I see women with attitude, I remember one in Spokane, I have to say this. She said, I want a man who's slender because I'm not attracted to obesity. I kid you not, viewers, the woman's arms were this big around and they weren't muscle. She was very obese. I wrote her back and I said, if you want a slender man, you might want to be slender yourself. She wrote back and she goes, I'm not obese. I said, excuse me, I'm looking at all your photos and you're quite overweight. And she cussed and yelled and screamed, well, you're not my type. I read your post. You're into Asians and this and that. I said, I'm not looking at you. I'm just looking at the content of these ads and saying, you're not going to get a slender man, honey. By the way, her post was up there for a long time. I'm just amazed at the deceivedness of women about themselves. The view they have of themselves is unbelievable. Or the women that say, I'm very sexy, and then you see a picture and they look like a Goodyear blimp. I know a lot of women are going to get offended at me saying that, and they're going to say, that is so rude, Pacific. Hey, We're tired of the rudeness that you guys are putting off. We're tired of the fact that you think you can look like Jabba the Hutt, and we're all supposed to go, oh, I gotta have her. Sorry, I don't want to make love to Jabba the Hutt, man, or one with that attitude. I find that Craigslist is a toilet, and it attracts a lot of messed up people. Now, I've also met some good people on there just for conversation, but I have learned that if you want to find a date, a decent date, where you're going to get less drama and problems, probably Craigslist is not the place to go. Now, again, I emphasize that I've met some good folks. Sometimes I put up some sarcastic posts dealing with the obese, attitudinal women, and I've had several men write me saying, man, I love this post, it's great, we need more people to put this up there. And yeah, it's just interesting. Women in America, you gotta get a grip. You gotta come down off of your thrones. You're not divas, you're not goddesses, and last time I checked, you sit on the toilet bowl just like the rest of us. For you trolls out there that want to say Pacific can't get dates and Pacific can't get laid and Pacific is this, that, and the other, I don't need to go on about defending myself. The only thing I can say is I've dated a lot of pretty ladies in my life, and for whatever reason things didn't work out because we had different beliefs for this or that. But I've dated a lot of ladies where we left cordially. Some of those people are still my friends, and they call me from China. And you know what? You trolls need to get a life. You're probably the ones not getting the dates. What is it about YouTube that attracts all these trolls? And you notice, again, they don't post their photo, they don't post any videos, because they don't have the confidence to show themselves, which means they're probably not that attractive in any way, shape, or form, and they're dregs that can't get a job, and all they do is sit there and go, F-bomb, F-bomb, I am an F-bomb machine. I mean, it's sad. But I love my troll friends. I notice that they're dropping off more and more because they're starting to realize they're not going to dethrone the mighty Pacific. You know what? I wish I could go viral. I'm going to say it again, viewers. If any of you are filthy rich and you have nothing better to do with your money, give me $1 million and I promise you I will disappear. Nobody will know where I am. Just a handful. My sister, my uncle and cousin, and my son. That's it. Oh, and a few of my closest friends. If nobody else would know, nobody would find me. Then when I get to the other side of the Pacific, I'll sit there with no shirt on and my sandals under a palm tree saying, hi everybody, this is Pacific, from somewhere in the Pacific, bringing you another fine video to pollute the internet. I love women. I really do. I'm pretty hard on you. But I'm just trying to get a point across. Feminism doesn't work. It destroys you. Makes manginas out of females, and it needs to stop. And for all you people posting on Craigslist, there's an old saying, you win more flies with honey rather than vinegar. And you know what? If you're really looking for the right guy, don't put all this drama about all the times you've been burned and all the crap you've been through, because the first thing you send a signal is, oh, let's attract some more nitwits. Use your boundaries appropriately. Don't be all authoritative and flex your little female muscles, and why don't you show some graciousness? And if you get a bunch of scabs out there, just say, hey, you know what? I'm not interested in your partner. Bye-bye. Men will leave. Trust me. You just got to have enough politeness to say, thank you for responding, but I'm not interested in you. And if they write you back and say, F you, B-I-T-C-H, block them. And there are those jerk males out there. Trust me, I've seen plenty of those in my life. But Craigslist, if you really want to meet somebody. Then the other thing, oh, I got one more thing to talk about. You got all these women on there that say, I just want somebody to text because I work a night shift and I'm all alone. Now, why would I want to spend my evening texting somebody who's never going to go out with me? Or the people that get on there and want financial help. Or the women that get on there and say, I really need some help, so I'll offer my body. Whores, prostitutes, get out of here. I'm so sick of all the women that want to endless email and message. The whole purpose of a dating site is to meet somebody. I've already learned that basically just giving out my phone number, if women are too scared to call me, talk to me. I'm done with emailing. I want to get to know you right away, and the first way to tell is a conversation. I can tell within a simple conversation within 10 minutes whether this is going to fly or not. And then if you meet them, the first meeting is going to tell me whether it's going to fly or not. I met a woman from Craigslist. She actually responded to a post I had, and it was the most uncomfortable date I've ever gone on in the U.S. We sat there at the table, and I didn't even ask for these. She just started saying, I don't ever want to be touched by a man. I don't like to touch and hug and cuddle. And I'm thinking to myself, wow, this is going to be fun, because I'm really touchy-feely. I love to hold hands and cuddle. And inside I'm thinking, oh, you just scratched yourself off my list. She was not that much of a hottie, but she had all the attitude of everything, and she sat there the whole time telling me how terrible Asian women were because she lived in Korea, and I'm just sitting there listening to this going, I've dated a lot of Asian women. This woman and I are just not going to get along. But she called me a couple weeks later, and we went for a long ride in my truck because we had nothing better to do. And then she decided to start attacking religion and Christianity and this and that. I'm just kind of sitting there going, lady, what's your beef? We're just out having a nice, simple ride. I took her to lunch that day, paid for everything. She didn't even say thank you. I thought, you know what? I'm not getting together with this chickie again. She's from Kansas, by the way, and I want to say something. Oh, and this is going to offend people. I have not met too many nice females from Kansas. What is it with Kansas? Kansas is one of these with hair. No offense. I know there might be some good people there, but every female I've met from Kansas has an attitude that's higher than New York City skyscrapers. And what kills me, they're not all that. And I'm like, really? So Craigslist has not yielded a lot of success rate for me, and I've talked to other people. So there's just somebody I talked to last week said, yeah, Craigslist is definitely a toilet bowl. Whoosh. You know, pull the chrome handle, folks. Okay, I'm going on and on. I'm having way too much fun. If you want to find a date, stay off Craigslist. But I tried Mingle, and I tried Mate One, and I tried, what was the other one? Can't even remember the other one. I just find out they really don't work. They just don't work. Some people say they've met their soulmate on there, but I find that you really got to meet somebody in the real world. But guys, American culture is getting tough. It is changing very, very fast. And I finally told my uncle, I said, you know, I need to go down to San Francisco and wait for the boat to come in and get somebody that's, you know, FOB, fresh off the boat, and just say, honey, you're beautiful, come with me, I'll teach you all about America. It's true. Once they get over here and are American culturalized, they're gone. It's sad to say. That's why if I were to marry somebody overseas and really stay that course, I'd rather stay in their country. I'll put up with the problems that come with living over there. But now I'm really starting to get burnt out on American cultured women. I keep trying to have a hope. But little by little, every day, my little beacon is dimming, and I'm starting to realize you're going to have to find some Vietnamese woman that moved over here, or a Vietnamese woman that was married to an American man who she just found out he was a cheater and a drinker and this and that. I'm really starting to notice there's some nice women out there that are just not from the United States of America. Isn't that sad? But that's just my thought on the matter. So who knows? Maybe I'll find some sweet little exotic beauty who really doesn't dig this culture but wants everything I have to offer. But I want to say something. I know there's white females out there that are nice, because some of them write me commenting on my videos. It's just too bad that they're not in the majority. I know when you go places like the South and parts of America, there's some still nice, sweet white women, but I'll tell you what, out here in Colorado, no way, man. This is Pacific, signing off. Have fun. Stay off Craigslist. It's just a toilet bowl, man.